iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
To the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Parabolka. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the Parabolka. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome in here, race fans, tonight to the South Boston Speedway here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the LFOD Motorsports here at the South Boston Speedway. The Northeast Racers have rolled into this tricky little track in the middle of Virginia. And to bring you all the racing action tonight, my name is Roger Muth, and alongside me from, I'm going to say rainy New York, Al here tonight. Al Smith Jr. joining us here in the booth tonight. Al, these drivers have battled all year long on the short tracks all across the iRacing.com platform, and today we come to one of the trickiest tracks here towards the end of the season, the South Boston Speedway.
Yeah, South Boston Speedway, one of those tracks that could be a nightmare for your current points leader, David Greenslet, especially if marred back in traffic and if they get a long green flag run. We're going to see a conveyor belt of cars around the South Boston Speedway. One little miscue, well, we can see a parking lot, which will be tighter than the traffic on I-90.
Well, I don't know where I-90 is, but I know where 95 is, and I can tell you that's a nightmare all the time. So, race fans, I hope you're ready. I hope you're geared up. Coming into the night, this is 4 races left once they entered this race here. So, we're kind of counted as, well, we're still going to count it as 4 because we have tonight to get through tonight. But David Greenslet, He comes into the night leading the points championship. He has 363 points. The second place man, that is Nathan Wenzel. He competes in the A Series and the B Series when he qualifies in, and he's done a great job of qualifying in all season long. He is sitting second in that championship hunt. He's got 328 points. Then it's a little bit of a gap back to the driver who's sitting in third, and that is Joel Hodgson. He is sitting back with 299 points. Those are your top three, but really your top 3, 4, and 5 are your closest battles, because Alan Young is right there, Ryan Battle is right there, and about 20 points back behind him, that's Rodney Hondoon. He's got himself a great season behind the wheel this year, stepping out of the race control booth and behind the wheel on one of these street stocks. Kyle Willis, Ryan Carmen, Casey Bietti, and Vernon Woodard all round out the top 10. So it's still just about anybody's ball game, Al, but I think David Greenslit really has himself a good points lead coming into the final races.
Yeah, we talked about how quick things can happen here at the South Boston Speedway. Having that point cushion coming in here, if I am David Greenslet, I'm very thankful for that to have a great season. Let's just figure this out. Average start 6, but his average finish 4th, and he's had a great season. We're getting ready to go with our heat races. Qualifying just wrapped up. We're going to have a pair of heat races coming at us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the LFOD Motorsports Northeast Racers and heat race number 1 on the grid, Roger, and I believe you have the lineup that.
I do have the lineup down here, and it is going to be the Vermont Cabinetry. Number 22 of Andrew Davis starting on the front row of this one, starting right next to him. It'll be the driver of that 03. Comes in second in the championship hunt. It is Nathan Wenzel. Starting P number 3, and this is the driver of the 07. This is Jeffrey Ramsdell. And then position 4, driving the 55, the one-time winner this season, it'll be the 55 of Kyle Willis. The youngster, Casey Bietti, will roll off 5th in the number 45 with Justin Prescott in the number 44. It's been a while since we've seen the 44 out on track, so good to see him back. The Horse Dog Motorsports, it'll be the number 32 of Eric Steele. Kyle Buck's got the B205 scheduled for 8th. Mike Tasher on the Racing School, number 33, will roll off 9th. 10th will go to Ryan Carrier in the number 3, and then it'll be Randall Phillips rounding out our 11-car field here. 11 cars do take to the grid.
11 cars strong. We're going to send 5 immediately to the main event here tonight. Out of this heat race, everybody else will have to go to our last chance qualifier, which will come up a little bit later. And Roger, that's going to be hair tight there as we try to figure out who is going to make it in tonight's main events.
Looking down on this beautiful South Boston Speedway, the virtual grandstands are obviously packed, as Virginia did not allow actual race fans at their facilities all season long, so we can't wait for the COVID-19 pandemic to kind of already be done with and over with. But what we can tell you right now is we can still live on here through the iRacing.com platform and get some racing action in, as this time by the old iRacing pace car should make that left-hand turn. It does. Getting ready. Heat race number 1 here is underway. It'll be 8 laps the distance. Wenzel, Davis down into 1.
Wenzel going to use the outside momentum. He'll jump out over the Davis down the back. The top 3 cars stall it out single file. We got to go back to the 4th spot. That's where we see Jeff Ramsdell, and that tied 0-7. He runs in their 4th spot. He's got the number 44 of Justin Prescott to his outside. Stacked up 2 by 2 off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch into turn 3.
Right now, the 55 of Willis is just looking in his mirrors. Oh, he's going to slide up. He's going to open the door. Here comes Ramsdale down to the inside of that Pontiac 07 Tide Ride. He'll hug the bottom of the speedway, throwing the left side of the tires down onto the apron, down in 1 and 2 to try and get the car to rotate. He's not going to be able to do anything with it, but right behind him, it's the 45 of Casey Bietti and the 44 of Prescott. Prescott to the outside with that red number 45 with the beautiful red racing stripes. Looks like it's going to be Bietti making the inside work, and now he'll look to the outside here on Ramsdale as they work out of turn number 2. Not going to have quite the momentum, as this is a small track to try and get a lot of runs. As a little bit farther back into the field there, you see the 3 of Ryan Carrier. He's going to get moved up the track. The number 64. I believe that's actually the 19 for everybody following at home on the timing and scoring.
Yeah, 19 are Randolph Phillips moving by the number 3 of Ryan Courier. Everybody getting single file with 3 laps to go. And Mike Castro going to take a look to the inside of Eric Steele. Couldn't quite make a move that time. They'll all single file it out. Your top 5 is Nathan Wenzel, Drew Davis, Kyle Willis, Jeff Ramsdell, and Casey Bietti holding on to that 5th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 1.
Tires squealing there as the 33 of Mike Taschereau going to go around with 2 to go. It's going to be a big pile up down here. Junkyard, turn number 4. One of them is going to jump it up and over. See if we stay green flag. Green flag still in the air for the time being, as we will get the caution lights coming on. Caution lights going to come on as Carrier Taschereau and Randall Phillips were all tied up down there in turn number 4. So we're going to throw the caution flag. It'll be a little bit of a shootout now, Al. We're going to line them up, see if we can get some good side-by-side racing here to finish this off. But let's take a look and see what the truck has to say about this one. This is what they found. There's the 33, the racing school entry. And, oh, there it is. Phillips getting into the back of the 33, and then Carrier nowhere to go. He piles on into that number 3 machine, and he winds up actually flipping over the barrier between the racing surface and the pit road and lands on his wheels. But it's going to be a tow for all those drivers back to pit road. And, well, those 3 are going to have to go to the last chance qualifier to get in.
They definitely are. A tough break for those drivers. They were having a great showing up until that point as they were trying to make their way forward. Taschereau was trying to get up there, but now they'll get mired deep in that last chance qualifier that we'll see coming up in just a little bit. But Wenzel was out in front. The top 5 cars kind of single filed it out. They were all looking good to make it into tonight's main event. Now they're going to have to fight off this restart, which I believe will be a double file restart. So you're going to have Casey Bietti starting on the inside. He's going to have Justin Prescott in that number 44. He'll start to the outside. That's going to be the battle to watch as we try to see who's going to be the top 5 cars to make it in to the main event.
Yeah, we're going to see if the pace car lights go off this time. They do not. So race fans, are you in the market for a new used car? Are you in the Vermont or New Hampshire area? Well, you're not too far from the headquarters of the LFOD Motorsports. Make sure to check them out over on Facebook.com for new used inventory. Al, I think last I knew you were in the market for a Volkswagen. I think they have one on the lot down there. A Jetta, right? TDI.
Absolutely. Is it turboed?
Oh, that's what the turbo diesel. Yes, Al, it would be. Oh, boy.
Can't keep you on your toes, Roger. You know.
Well, for a second you had me, and then I'm like, no, wait, this is Al, and yeah, and we just threw that one real quick right into the trash because guess what? The iRacing pace car lights are off, and we're going to get ready to go racing here again. It'll be Wenzel, Davis, Willis, Ramsdale, Bietti, Prescott, Buck, and Steele. 8 cars left out onto the track, and it looks like Randall Phillips actually is back out, so we'll call it 9 cars on the track battling for 5 spots here.
Pace car down and away. Green flag going to come out this time as we are back underway. 2-lap shootout. Wenzel down to the inside. Davis will roll the outside here through turns 1 and 2. Kyle Willis going to take a look to the inside now. That's the battle for second. 1 off of turn number 4. The white flag will fly. It's the battle for your 5th startership. Kyle Buck in line behind Casey Bietti. They've got the 0-7 Ramsdale stuck up on the outside. Can Buck get there? Down the backstretch in the turn number 3 for the final trip. It'll be off at turn number 4. Wenzel's going to pick up the win. Your 5th spot is going to go to the 0-7 Ramsdale as Davis, Willis, Bietti fill in that 1st and 5 through 5 sandwich as heat race number 2 now gets ready to come up onto the straightaway as we get ready to go with heat race number 2. Let's take a look at the starting grid, shall we? And this is what it looks like. Starting on the inside of row number 1 is going to be the 471. That is Eric Pamasco. Outside of him will be the Young Gun Creation, number 24, for the LA Sim Sport. That is Alan Young. Max Dolliver in car number 29 at Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream Sport Automobile. Going to start third. At his outside will be Cooper Bouchard in car number 17. Derek Curtis in car number 27 and Ryan Carmen will make up row number 6. Or row number 3, excuse me. Row number 4 is going to be Ryan Battle. To his outside, car number 46, that is Eric Lorando. Starting on the inside of row number 5 is going to be car number 36, that is Joel Hodgson. Hodgson going to start in the 9th spot. Tony Quadro scheduled to start 10th. As he is the man up in mission control here at the South Boston Speedway. He will not be out on the grid. And shotgun on the field, the number 18, that is Dan Butler.
So that is your heat race number 2 starting lineup here tonight for the LFOD Motorsports Northeast Racers. We're taking another 5 out of this heat race here. Al, are we going to the last chance qualifier here tonight? Do we know that information at this time?
We do not know at this time. We'll hopefully we will have be known halfway through this show. I guess what? We'll find out after this heat race.
Well, Al, I do see the Ben & Jerry's car down here, so I know already who you're pulling for, so I don't even have to ask. Race fans, who are you pulling for, though, here in heat race number 2? Is it Plamasco, Young, Dolliver, Bouchard, Battle, Carmen, Hodgson, Lauren Butler, or how about Curtis as the green flag comes out here? 8 laps will be the distance here for heat race number 2, as you see the 471 of Eric Plamasco down to the inside of the LA Young Guns creation. Number 24 of Alan Young, who will lead lap number 1. Plamasco going to get a great run through the center, but the momentum is going to carry the 24 of Alan Young down the straightaway. So it will be Young leading lap number 1. Look at the Piedmont Air Bouchard entry. Also reeling and dealing the outside. Oh, contact! Contact down the back straightaway. Carmen pinballing off the outside wall using Joel Hodgson. Also has a little bit of a pick. And one of them up towards the front has sideways issue. Eric Plamasco, who was in second, has fallen back to running 8th.
Yeah, Plamasco's going to fall out of the transfer spot all the way back to your 8th spot. He'll fall in line in front of that J&M Auto car number 46 of Lorendo. So he's got a long way to go. Plamasco from the in-house to the out-house. Same with Ryan Carmen. He's fallen out of a transfer spot. It's Joel Hodgson goes underneath Bouchard. Bouchard at number 17 works the outside of the racetrack, trying to hold him off. Up the racetrack he'll go. Hodgson's going to pull back even as he digs down on that yellow line off of turn number 4. 4 laps to go. 4 in, 4 laps remain in this 8-lap contest for heat race number 2, and it is the great battle for the 4th spot. Hodgson trying to give himself an insurance position as he sees the 18 of Dan Butler and Ryan Carmen in the 08 closing in on this side-by-side battle.
Yeah, Butler's coming, but so is the 08 of Ryan Carmen in the Kit Kat Monster Energy 08 machine. He works the outside of the speedway currently. Dan Butler still works the bottom. That's Plamasco sneaking back into the picture with the green 471 entry. Right now, though, it is Joel Hodgson who has the spot. So Carmen or Butler has to get on their horse with 2 laps to go because your race leader of Alan Young will be looking for the white flag this time by out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway he comes. It'll be one final trip around the speedway for Alan Young. Max Dolliver has got the Young Ryan Battle entry, the number 16, working the inside of him. Those two are currently in that position. Joel Hodgson does not have anybody really pressuring him, so out of turn 4, it'll be Alan Young, Dolliver, and Battle side by side. It'll be Max Dolliver picking up P2, Ryan Battle, Cooper Bouchard, Joel Hodgson, your top 5. It will be Ryan Carmen, Dan Butler, Eric Plamasco, Lorendo, all going to the last chance qualifier.
The last chance qualifiers getting ready to grid up right now as they work here on the front stretch, and this is the starting lineup for our last chance qualifier. It's going to be a 15-lap contest, and it looks like the top 10 cars will make it in tonight's main event. So we're going to send 1 car home, Roger, and we're about to find out who that is. And this is the starting lineup for your last chance qualifier here at the South Boston Speedway. Starting on the inside of row number 1, it'll be car number 44, and it's Justin Prescott. Ryan Carmen in car number 08. He'll start on the outside in the position number 2. Kyle Buck in that B-tuned number 05. He'll start third. Outside of him will be the number 18. That is Dan Butler. Eric Steele in the Horse Dog Motorsports Speedball Bearing Swag TV sponsored number 32 will start 5th. 6th starting spot will go to the Green Machine. That is Eric Plamasco in car 471. Randall Phillips in car number 19 will start in your 7th position. Outside of him, the 46. That is Eric Lorendo. Mike Taschereau is going to schedule to start in your 9th spot here, with Jarrett Curtis scheduled to start 10th. Ryan Courier in car number 3 is supposed to start 11th. And rounding out your 12-car grid, that is the number 12 of Tony Quadros. But as mentioned before, he's up here next to us in the booth calling all the shots. So we get ready to go racing, Roger. It's going to be an exciting B main. It looks like 9 cars start taking to the grid, and we're scheduled to take 10. So we'll have to see how the officials will make up that 10th starter. That is Courier and Curtis. Both do not make the grid. So we'll have to see how that's going to work out once we go racing here.
So with, well, this last chance qualifier on the line here, and you are correct, Al, I'm getting told the same thing. It does look like all the drivers that are taking to the grid will make the A main event here, rolling up in just a little bit. So as the iRacing pace car lights are off as it rolls off the speedway, the last chance qualifier is underway. It'll be 15 laps of the distance, and all the drivers that took the green flag will make the big show here tonight. So they're just going to get some practice laps here, and Ryan Carmen is going to get turned around from the front row.
Around they go. Eric Steele going to make contact, and, well, oh, he stuck the landing.
Stuck the landing, but he was backwards, Al, and your Russian judge is looking for his card currently, and I don't have the spectacles on to read it.
It doesn't look very good there, as they did not make it off turn number 2 before having incident here in heat race, or the last chance qualifier. So these guys that already in the show, well, they're going to have to pull out some backup cars. This Hellcat spot, the Monster Energy Big Kit Kat car, and pulled down on Vic Pit Road. They are going to survey the damage down here. They might have to go to the truck to pull out a backup car.
Yeah, it looks like Eric Steele also is going to possibly have to pull out a backup car for that Swag TV Speed ball bearings entry over there, as he is quite tore up too. Let's watch it back here and see if we can grab our LFOD dash camera here with Eric Steele. See it off of turn 2. You see the Kit Kat entry, and he locks him up, but boy, was there just nowhere to go, and then he hit the inside wall and hard contact to the outside wall. Then once again, once he turns it back around, and it's just not a good start for a couple of these drivers.
No, definitely not the start that these drivers wanted to have, especially having to be in the last chance showdown to begin with. They did not want to be here. But the good news is they all make the feature event, which is going to be on tap next. But we have to make it through this one here. So we'll take and see what happens once we get ready to go racing. We're supposed to take the top 10 cars, and by my unwitting ability to read, it looks like to me that Tony Quadros will be our 25th starter here tonight. So I imagine we'll have 24 cars starting the main event, Roger.
So you do know how to read the timing and scoring. See, Al, we've been working together for like almost a year and a half or 2 years. We did the Northeast Racers last season, and I'm finally proud to say you can read the timing and scoring.
That I can. And, well, you taught me well there, young grasshopper.
But you know who else can read right now? That's the driver of the 18, Dan Butler, in the RacingSchool.net entry. You see him to the outside of the speedway. You see behind him also, that's Mike Taschereau. Well, yep, that's another one of those Racing School entries. Right now, the instructors, those Racing School instructors, are going to try to see if they can work themselves up just a little bit farther, because this time by, we're going to drop the hammer once again. Green flag going to come back out here as the 05 of Kyle Buck got the B-tuned entry tuned up. It'll be 9 laps to go here, or actually, I believe it's going to be 12 laps to go as our timing and scoring has to update.
Down the backstretch, they will come. It'll be the 05 of Buck to the race lead. He's got the 19 of Randolph Phillips, started back in the 8th spot. He'll get a little bit loose. Dan Butler's going to take a peek down to the inside here as we are racing around the South Boston Speedway. Everything getting stretched up. 13 laps to go in this last chance qualifier. We're calling a practice race for these drivers. They're going to have a leg up when we get into the main event, as they're going to have 15 laps extra of race time underneath their belt before the feature. Is now Taschereau is going to go around. Justin Prescott in that 44 round, as well as the second yellow flag will fly here tonight at the South Boston Speedway in the last chance qualifier.
So as the second caution flag flies here, and that started towards the back of the field, we're going to have to watch it back here. See what happened there. You see the J&M Auto number 46 of Lorendo involved in this one. And, well, let's see what the truck finds on this one. There you see the 471 to the inside of the Taschereau entry. So that's Plamasco and Taschereau. And let's see, do they make contact down here? That turns around the 33.
Looks like maybe the 32, maybe just up the racetrack a little bit, maybe slight contact to that left rear, Roger.
Yeah,
hard to tell from my vantage point here in the tower.
Yeah, it looks definitely like the 33 got loose out of 4, and then Steele actually may have got slightly into the back of both of them there with the 471 and the 33. The 44 you see of Prescott, he just kind of pulled it down there to try to get out of the way, and that's what's actually just going to bring the caution flag out here for the second time in the last chance qualifier.
It looks like race control is saying that the 32 was involved with that, as Eric Steele has been put to the tail of the remaining cars out on the racetrack. So Steele, in that Oval Works Speedball Bearing Swag TV entry, will have to start in the back of this one with about, well, it'll be 11 laps to go when we go back green flag racing.
So with 11 laps to go, Steele involved in a second wreck here, and he has plenty of time to work his way back to the front. If it was you, Al, back there, I think you might just settle for that position. But we'll see. Eric Steele, one of those drivers that really likes to pull the gloves tight when he gets out here onto the racetrack, and we love his enthusiasm, especially over there on the social media side of things too. So quite a character to read about. But Kyle Buck says you got to get B-tuned to get up to the front of this one, and he started in third, and right now he's running P number 1. After the second caution flag of the night. Let's see if the old iRacing pace car lights are going to go off this time by here at the South Boston Speedway. Fun fact for you, Al, who owns the South Boston Speedway? And which other track do they own? I can smell the fire from here in Pennsylvania.
Is it one of the Burtons?
It is not one of the Burtons. Here's your hint. The South Boston Speedway is also owned by the same people who own the Pocono International Raceway.
Oh, so you.
I wish I could say I own either of them, because we'd be running at least snowmobiles up in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. But we're here virtually on the iRacing.com platform for the last chance qualifier for the Northeast Racers, presented by LFOD Motorsports, as we're racing once again. It'll be 11 laps here to go as we're back underway.
Phillips going to work to the outside. The buck is now the back door banging for position number 3 as Dan Butler works to the inside of Pomasco. They started that way up the racetrack. A little bit more paint swapping here. We're going to see plenty of that here tonight as they work around there. But everybody's watching the race for your race lead. Buck has it on the bottom, but Randall Phillips trying to make it work. He'll try to cross him over down here as we got more contact on the front stretch. It looks like everybody keeping it going. It looks like maybe Pomasco had a little bit of concrete rubbing experience down the front stretch.
Yeah, and it looked like Eric Steele also caught a piece of the wall. Now here comes Prescott working to the inside of the racing school number 18. It's 8 laps to go as, almost a little bit loose there for the Eric Steele entry. Butler going to go to the high side once again. Here's the 44. Prescott back down to the bottom. 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go this time by. And you're watching the battle for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and on back positions right now because Kyle Buck and Randall Phillips, they have checked out here from this group.
Yeah, they run nose to tail. Phillips will work the outside a little bit, but right now Butler works the outside of the racetrack. Prescott down below the yellow line, and Eric Steele restarted in 8th, has made his way back to 5th, and he's looking for more as they try to hang the 18 of Butler to the outside. Steele will work the bottom of the racetrack. Contact there, and then the turn number 3. Couldn't quite make a 6 laps to go as they come off there. 5 laps to go now.
5 laps to go in the battle for the race lead. Here it is. Here comes Phillips, and they're going to contact for the race lead. Your second place driver into the outside one. It's going to stack them up down the back straightaway. The caution lights are going to come back on once again here. Battling for the race lead in the last chance qualifier, and it looks like Randall Phillips has stuffed that number 19 into the wall, and well, that's going to hurt because he would have had a pretty decent spot still into the main event here tonight, but now he's going to have to start at least in the last row.
Yeah, he'll start back there. He'll fall, I believe, back to the 8th spot, so he'll be 1 car from the back there. I believe is the 08 of Carmen is going to be there as we sit and wait. We'll see what happens as he's come to a stop here on the back stretch. Probably waiting for the field to come by. They'll cycle by, and we'll go back to green flag race. And
yeah,
so
let's watch this back here and see what happened once again here. Watching the front 2, looks like Phillips down to the inside on the apron, down in 1 and 2, into the door of the 05, and then just stacks him up down the back straightaway. And around he goes. Contact there from Dan Butler. Contact from Mike Taschereau. And, well, that's going to put him towards the back of the field now.
Yeah, I mean, it has to catch the car and it works it up there and then kisses the outside wall. And then all these guys that we were watching battling it out for that fourth or third on back, well, they had nowhere to go and just caught the rear bumper of that 19 that kind of stacked them up. And Castro got some heavy damage with the front end of that number 33. And I believe Eric Steele also may have gotten some damage in that as he'll find himself. I believe Steele is up to your third spot right now, Roger.
Yeah, he just kind of bobbed and weaved his way around all the chaos that was just happening out there, and he'll restart now. If we go back double file restart, I'm not sure if we will here in the last chance qualifier, but we're going to find out here. I think we actually might double him up at least one more time. Eric Steele then would start to the inside of row number 2 with Tashiro to his outside, and then Plomasco, who still has a fast car, he'll start towards the back. And we're going to find out here if we're going to double them up or not.
I believe it looks like we're going to be single file here as we work down here. Maybe the 32 being sent tail side on this one, Roger?
Yeah, I was a little confused on why he pulled down too. I guess he will start to the back of the field here. So that's an interesting call, and we'll see if we can get a clarification on that. But it'll be Prescott, then Butler, then Tashiro, Laurendeau, Plomasco, your top 5 drivers here as the green flag comes back on.
Green flag back out. It'll be 4 laps to go. Can we finish this one under the green flag? Prescott leading the way. Dan Butler second. Now Tashiro into your third spot. Kyle Buck was going to go underneath the number 471 of Plomasco. So interesting to see Buck in the back as well, as now they all work through the corner. Prescott showing the way still down the backstretch, top 4 single file. And you got to get to this double file battle. Is now the 19 of Randolph Phillips slams the back bumper of the 05 of Buck and sends Plomasco up the racetrack.
Yeah, now to be 2 laps to go as those drivers that were at the front are now out back, not playing nice here. But Prescott says, thanks, and I'll just take this advantage here, and I'll just carry on my wayward way. And he'll come out of turn number 4. He'll be looking for 1 lap to go here in the last chance qualifier. Remember, all the drivers that took the green flag here in the last chance qualifier will move on to the main show here tonight. So Prescott has just 2 sets of corners to go, and it will be him picking up the win here. So it's Prescott, Butler, Tashiro, Laurendeau, Kyle Buck finishing back into the 5th position with Randall Phillips in 6th. 7th goes to Plomasco, Eric Steele in 8th, Ryan Carmen in 9th. And those were the drivers that did take to the grid here tonight in the last chance qualifier. So it looks like all the heat races and last chance qualifiers are done here tonight. We're having a little bit of a short intermission here, race fans, and while we have that 2-minute warm-up, we're going to step away. We're going to wet the old whistles before we go racing for 75 hard laps here at the South Boston Speedway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the racket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
Welcome back here, race fans, to the South Boston Speedway tonight for the LFOD Motorsports Northeast Racers race here at the South Boston Speedway. We are ready to go A-Main Racing. Let's head on down trackside and get through the starting lineup. Starting lineup brought to us by LFOD Motorsports. Starting on the front row, a two-time winner here this season, driving the 00, it is Jimmy Renfrew. To his outside, driving the number 73, he's been sitting for a little while, it's the 73 of Vernon Woodard. Milton Durand is scheduled to roll off third here with Rodney Hontoon in fourth. Fifth will go to the point championship leader David Greenslet. He did qualify actually first, but they inverted the top five. Nathan Wenzel picked up his heat race win. He'll start sixth tonight here on the grid. Seventh tonight will go to the driver, the LA Sim Sports number Young Guns Creation number 24 of Alan Young. Andrew Davis will roll the number 22 off in eighth. Ninth will go to Max Dolliver, and rounding out the top 10 will be Kyle Willis.
16 to his outside, the driver out of Vermont, that is Casey Bietti in car number 45. Cooper Bouchard in car number 17 will start 13th. Outside of him will be the 07, that is Jeff Ramsdell. Joel Hodgson and Justin Prescott will make up row number 8. Row number 9 is going to go to Dan Butler and Mike Ashero. Eric Lorendo and Kyle Buck make up row number 10. Rounding out your starting lineup will be Randolph Phillips in car number 19, Eric Tomasco in car number 471. And Eric Steele, Ryan Carmen, and Jarrett Curtis all making the show. I can confirm that Carmen, Curtis, and Renfrew not making the grid here. Roger, the pace car, about ready to go off here as we get ready to go with our main event coming at you at the South Boston Speedway.
Well, that's unfortunate for Jimmy Renfrew, who's going to miss the call to the grid here tonight. We'll see if he can get back out there, but the green flag is in the air. The A-Main is underway here. 75 laps will be the distance, and a great start by Vernon Woodard to the outside. Oh, he's going to bobble it. He's going to stuff it straight into the wall. That's the 01 of Rodney Hontoon, who had to check up. That's the 802 Precision Machine. He had to really check up hard, and both drivers going to lose a ton of positions as Milton Durand will come by here to lead lap number 1.
Yeah, drivers did a great job right there trying to get underneath them and avoid those drivers. They did a wonderful job. Now they work here through turns 3 and 4. We'll put lap number 4 into the books. What an amazing job that was. That could have got real ugly in a hurry. Hontoon heads up driving, everybody behind them. Meanwhile, it'll be Milton Durand jumping out to your race lead. He's got past the number 20 of Greenslet. Alan Young runs in your third spot. Good side-by-side battle, though, as Vernon Woodard trying to still gather it up. Ryan Battle will get to his inside in turn number 2.
Yeah, here comes Ryan Battle. He's picked up a couple spots here in the early stages of this one. Vernon Woodard has been dropping like a rock ever since he hit the outside wall out of turn number 2. Vernon Woodard and Battle run back here battling for that 6th position. A couple other drivers that have had a tough luck start of this one. That was the 01, Rodney Hontoon. He had to check up hard. Remember when Vernon Woodard got into the outside wall. He's back now 8 positions back outside the top 10. And now it looks like there's one driver coming out onto the track with a very late start. That'll be the 08 of Ryan Carmen. He will look to be about 5 laps down, I believe, according to our timing and scoring sheets, possibly 6 here once you get it out of pit road and onto the racing surface. So it's going to be a long way for him to come back up through it as 5 laps down behind the race leader, as Casey Bietti is once again looking to the inside here on Drew Davis, not able to make anything happen with it with that 45 for the time being. Everybody, that's the conveyor belt effect that here tonight, Al, that you talked about.
Yeah, and it's going to happen right now. It looks like Vernon Woodard up the racetrack once again, as Battle's going to try to get to the inside of him, and they are stacked up, single filed, nose to tail, right behind this Battle. So if you're the 73, you have to make that outside work. And as these tires get a little bit more heat in them, they're going to be searching for the grip, and you're going to see them move all up and down the South Boston Speedway. This track known to have multiple grooves of racing, and we're starting to see it here as we're working lap number 9. Battle's going to work to the outside of Dolliver in that Ben & Jerry's sponsor, number 29. As Drew Davis works there as well, as Casey Bietti's now under attack by Bouchard down in the turn number 1.
Yeah, Bietti going to have to go to the outside, and we're going to have to see if he can make it work. We haven't really seen it come in just yet, but with only 9 laps in the books as we work lap number 10 here tonight, still a ton of racing left to go. Milton Durand still holds the top spot. It has not changed anything up towards the front of the field. Your front 3 have really drove away. It's Durand, Greenslet, Young, and then it's Wenzel, Woodard, who has now found a home running in P number 5 here. Cooper Bouchard still working the inside here as he'll now look to the inside of the 22 of Andrew Davis. Casey Bietti does find a home back running 10th.
Right there, they had a moment as Bietti got a little bit loose. Kyle Willis was up his tailpipes in the turn number 3, 1 lap ago. Now they watch this battle side by side off of the front bumper of the 45 of Bietti, as Bietti trying to figure out which lane is going to go. Davis had gotten by Bouchard. Bouchard crossed him over, got to the inside, but now the outside starting to prevail as they head into turn number 3. We're definitely going to see this groove move up and down here tonight as these drivers search for grip. Davis showing the way, but things starting to tighten up. Here for your second spot, Alan Young has reeled in David Greenslit as they battle for your number 2 spot.
So the 2 spots, the hot spot right now, Alan Young, who's one of the fastest drivers in the series. He came in running 4th in the championship hunt, has now closed in on the points championship leader, and Milton Durant has nobody to bat an eyelash at either. He always comes locked and loaded and ready to roll on a Sunday evening here. Look at all the marbles that are starting to gather to the outside of the inside here of this track. iRacing is one of those sim racing platforms that you can choose actually to clean the marbles or leave the marbles. And these guys, real world racers up in Vermont and New Hampshire, and a couple drivers there in New York also, they say leave the marbles. They want the full effect here on the sim.
Yeah, and if you get out either down too low or up too high, it's like hitting the black ice that we have out on the roadways during the wintertime. You will go straight to the wall. You'll get really loose. You could spin out. A lot can happen and happen in a hurry that you do not want to happen. So it's one of those things where you kind of got to pay attention as a driver. As we see Vernon Woodard go to the outside on Wenzel. Woodard really working the outside of the racetrack. He's going to take that number 4 spot away from Wenzel as they still battle door to door off turn number 2.
As it will be Vernon Woodard picking up P number 4 now, but the question is going to be, does he have enough time to run down those leaders? It'll be 19 laps in the books, 20 laps just next time by, as these laps are clicking off fast here. Last time by, the race leaders were in a 16.6 at the timing and scoring stripe. So under 17 seconds, boy, out. That's fast, and I know I can't do it.
Very fast here. It's been clean and green since the drop of the green flag. 20 laps are in, working lap 21 as they work down in the turn number 3. Your top 3 cars now nose to tail, and they have opened up a 3.5 second gap back to your 4th place driver of Vernon Woodard. Wenzel runs in your 5th spot. Battle is 6th. Dolliver 7th. Bouchard, Bietti, and Davis rounding out your top 10. Your hard charger of the race so far is Cooper Bouchard in that number 17 as he tries to find a way around the number 29 of Dolliver as they work down here in the turn number 1.
Yeah, Dolliver, one of those drivers that came onto the scene late here this season. Didn't get to run the first portion of the schedule, so it really put him buried back into the points championship hunt, as we've had 51 drivers take an A main start here this season. 51. Now, a lot of times when you go short track racing, you might see, well, especially down here in the Pennsylvania area, you might see 15 to 20 cars show up on a Sunday during the daytime to race here for the street stocks category here on the asphalt side of things. But to see 51 cars at least take one green flag, that means the field is stacked and only the best drivers will get to stay, and they race towards the front, and that puts Max Dolliver right in that category here this season.
This has been a very competitive season here with the Northeast Racers presented by LFOD Motorsports, as these drivers have really gotten into the groove here in the last half of the season. It was a little bit of a rough start down at the Five Flags Speedway, and after that, it's been a really good racing as we've seen the last couple of weeks. These drivers putting it all out on the line. We're definitely seeing that here tonight. Everybody kind of minding their own business. Driver that came out of the last chance qualifier, Randolph Phillips and Justin Prescott, they've moved up to the backside of the 18 of Dan Butler. All those drivers moving forward so far in this feature event. As we work down here through turns 1 and 2, we'll work it past just the 1/3 mark of this feature event.
Someone that I noticed that has not picked up a lot of spots here tonight is the 05 of Kyle Buck, the B-tuned entry. Remember, he got penalized in the last chance qualifier for being involved in that wreck, so he had to tag the back of the last chance qualifier, and ever since that B-tuned car rolled back out onto the speedway for the A main event here tonight at the South Boston Speedway, it has not been the same machine. I don't know if they kind of got some damage in that last chance qualifier, and they just did not have enough time in the 2-minute session to fix it or what, because he has dropped 2 spots. He started 20th. He's back to running 22nd, and he's about 11.5 seconds off the race pace.
Yeah, they're running the same straightaway as your race leader. Now there's about half a track difference between those drivers, so they're going to have to step it up. Kyle Buck, one of those wily old veterans out here for the Northeast Racers, might be saving his stuff for in case we get a late race yellow flag, but they're definitely saving their stuff. Working in the back there. Remember, starting on the outside, not where you want to be when you come to the South Boston Speedway, and so far they are doing just that, working around the speedway in the conveyor belt style. Your top 3 cars still 3.5 seconds in front of Vernon Woodard, who is broken away from your 5th place man of Wenzel. Wenzel in that SimCube operation in the 03. He has them stacked up behind him like a deck of cards. The number 16 of Battle works to the outside, trying to make it. Now will slam the door shut on Dolliver. Dolliver has to jump on the brake pedal as he's got Bouchard in his wake as they work down here. A little bit of bumper tag in the turn number 3.
Yeah, that Ryan Battle machine is all over the back bumper here of Nathan Wenzel. As now they go 2x2. Back there for the positions behind, that's Dolliver and Cooper Bouchard. Bouchard's got the Piedmont Air number 17 to the inside here, and he's trying to make a move to move up inside the top 6 right now. Ryan Battle holds that 6th position, but Cooper Bouchard will pick up a spot. Now Casey Bietti has seen how to make it all work. Will he be able to get around? Dan Butler's back there also side by side with Randall Phillips. Butler is on the outside. Right now, those marbles that we talked about earlier at the halfway, or a little bit ago as we're at the halfway part, well, boy, did they... Oh, pass for the race lead. David Greenslick going to get to the inside here on Milton Duran. They're going to trade a little paint out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Still side by side in the turn number 3. They'll work the bottom. Greenslet was able to put the nose down low, and now your top 2 run door to door. And Alan Young right there watching, trying to figure out which lane to go. To Lemieux number 35 of Milton Duran works the outside of the green carpentry. They make contact, and Duran in the outside wall. That little mishap allows the 24 of Young to slip on by. So new race leaders, they work in the turn number 3. Contact between Greenslet and Duran opened the door, and Alan Young walked right through it.
Yeah, he did. He is going to take advantage fully of those 2 making contact. And now will Milton Duran be able to get back into the rhythm, because this is a rhythm track here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. Vernon Woodard is coming, though. I've been checking the timing and scoring sheets. He is the fastest out of the top 5 cars. He's actually the fastest car on the speedway. So right now, Vernon Woodard, that street stock driver up there in New Hampshire, he is picking up time on the race leader. Right now, it's only about 2.5 seconds back from 1st to the 4th position, and if we keep at this pace, he might just be able to catch at least your 3rd place car of Milton Duran, because last time by it, actually, Alan Young must have heard us talking about it, because the Young Guns Creation entry, he just put the foot through the floorboard. He was the fastest last time by.
Yeah, and I believe that maybe that Duran's automobile, that right front, extensive damage on that number 35, so you got to believe that hitting the outside concrete barrier has to at least knock the toe out, if not hurt the upper ball joint or upper A-arm here on these street stocks. He's kind of fallen off 1.3 seconds, and he is, well, I say that, and he ran faster than your race leader. So maybe not so hurt, maybe just trying to regather, feeling out the car as the top 2 start the battle. Greenslet with a peak down low. Young will slam the door shut in the turn number 1.
Yeah, not going to have anything there for that LFOD Vermont cabinetry number 20. So Greenslet going to have to rebound and try and get ready to go for it again. As here's the SimCube 03 entry of Wenzel as he's battling with Cooper Bouchard. Bouchard now to the outside of him, trying to make up a spot, and this is the battle for the 5th position. Wenzel had it at the line here on lap number 45 as Wenzel really drives the SimCube entry off into the corner and slid up just a little bit. Cooper Bouchard holding a very steady wheel with that number 17, all right in front of Max Dolliver, Ryan Battle, Casey Bietti, Andrew Davis right there also. Everybody's minding their P's and Q's, trying to figure out which lane is going to be the lane to go here. We've seen the outside come in. Look at them as they scrape door panels down there in turns 1 and 2. The 17 of Bouchard and the 03 of Wenzel saying, you could trade a little bit of paint here and keep going.
Yeah, they definitely do, and they're still and then they got them 2 by 2. 2 rows deep now as Casey Bietti works to the bottom of the inside. That'll contact up the racetrack. They're 3 wide off of turn number 2. They're still 3 wide. Bietti's going to hold on to the gas, the brake pedal wisely, as it 3 wide will not work at the South Boston Speedway. So a little bit of patience right there out of that group of drivers as the 0-3 of Wenzel and the 17 of Bouchard made contact up the racetrack, stacked them up off turn number 2 1 lap ago. Now Wenzel still holding on to that 5th spot. Ryan Battle works underneath Dolliver. He'll move past there. That's for 6. So now Bouchard up the racetrack after contact with Bietti. 1 car out of shape. That looked like it was the 19 of, I believe that is Phillips. He looked out of shape. More contact. Trouble in turn number 3.
Trouble with 25 laps to go. The caution lights are going to come on as the 55 of Kyle Willis has gone around, and that's going to jack the field up. And oh boy, caution flag with 25 laps to go. Al, that means that big 3.5-second race lead that your race leaders had, it is gone. Throw it out the window because we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get them ready to roll. But first, we have to go back here and watch what just happened to the 55 of Kyle Willis. Let's see if the truck has that all queued up for us. They tell us they have something. We'll believe it when we see it here. There you see the 17 of Bouchard and the 22 of Davis. Oh, it actually starts with Casey Bietti and Dolliver, and it checks the whole bottom lane up. And oh, Dan Butler getting involved. And then there's the 07 also coming in there. And, well, handful of cars involved in this one. Watch it back here. See if we can get a little bit better of an angle. Watching the 55 of Kyle Willis down to that inside groove.
Yeah, it looked like it all stemmed from in front of Dolliver. Slammed the door shut on a car that was already there of Bietti. And then Drew Davis checked up. Willis got into the back of him, and everybody else is stacked up behind him. And Willis going around in the spin cycle here tonight for to bring out our first yellow flag after 50 green flag laps. Pretty impressive here at the South Boston Speedway, considering how the last chance qualifier went.
Yeah, these guys really got into a big groove there, and everybody's settled out here tonight. So we're going to see what kind of racing we have left here, because, Al, I can tell you right now, if I'm Vernon Woodard, this is going to be my second chance. This is one of those 9 lives that he's going to be able to use here, because he'll have a chance now to restart on the outside of row number 2 to get ready to see if he can fire back. He started in that second position, remember, and on the starting lap out of turn number 2, he stuffed it right into the outside wall, getting severe right front damage, as it does look like it's going to be Dolliver picking up the end-of-line penalty here, so he'll tag the back of the field.
Yeah, Pay's lights are out. We're going to go back green flag racing this time off of turn number 4. It'll be Young and Greenslit on the front row. Duran, Woodard, Wenzel, and Paddle. That's your top 6 as they come off of turn 4. Green flag is up. We're back underway, and it'll be Young slamming the gas pedal through the floorboard. It'll be Greenslit up the racetrack. You've seen Vernon Woodard use that outside to his advantage earlier in the race. Does he have anything left? He'll get to the back bumper, a little bit of a love tech. Now crosses lanes. He'll slam the door shut on Wenzel. 23 laps to go. Which lane is going to go forward? Vernon Woodard wants it as Alan Young starts to square it away at the front of this one.
Yeah, but the battle's for that second position as Greenslit still works the outside. And look at Ryan Battle. He's also out there. Joel Hodgson, the 22 of Drew Davis, is also there. Right now, it looks like Greenslit is going to pick up the spot sideways for Vernon Woodard. They're going to be 3 wide coming out of turn number 2. Here comes Wenzel down to the inside. Woodard is the sandwich there with Ryan Battle to the outside. Al, you told me 3 wide was not going to work. These drivers just said, hold my apple juice.
Yeah, it's very impressive there here are the Northeast Racers that they made that work. Not only down the backstretch, but all the way through turns 3 and 4. Now they'll settle it out to 2 by 2, as that's the battle for your 5th spot. Ryan Battle working to the inside of Vernon Woodard. Woodard was 4th on this restart. Now slides back to your 6th spot. His contact Drew Davis up the racetrack. He'll stack the outside line up, as he'll lose 2 spots as they work into turn number 3.
So Davis going to work the outside there. There's the 01 of Rodney Hontoon. He's had a rough start from the drop of the green flag. The GMRC entry, the 802 Precision 01. Hontoon started up into the 4th position. He is back here running 12th after being involved in incident number 1 of the night that did not bring a caution flag out. Max Dolliver hasn't been able to pick up one. Oh, it looks like the 33 of Mike Taschereau got off the front bumper of one of the cars towards the back of the field here. They were able to hang on to it. Casey Bietti is right there. He's looking to the inside of that 33 Racing School entry. There's also Max Dolliver's right there, and there's the Ophia Kyle Buck. Everybody's jammed up, racing all over the track, not just inside the top 5, as there's your race leader, but all the way back to the last car on the lead lap. One car off the raceway, and that is Ryan Carbon in the 08 entry. Jimmy Renfew and Jarrett Curtis did not take the green flag. Surprising here tonight, 2 drivers not taking the green flag in the A main event.
Yeah, battle for inside your top 3 is the 35 of Duran. He's working the outside of the racetrack. Wenzel was able to get by into your 3rd spot. Now, Battle trying to crack inside the top 4, so he'll take that spot from the 35 of Duran. Tough break for early race leader Milton Duran. There was contact just past the halfway point between himself and the 20 of Greenslet. Now he's falling in the wrong direction here tonight, as now he'll try to hold off the 73 of Woodard. Is there still 2 by 2 behind him? Bouchard trying to make a run towards the front. Once again, is the Randall Phillips and Prescott are door-to-door off turn number 2.
Yeah, right now, Randall Phillips, who you see right there in the number 64 on the screen, it's the number 19 on the timing and scoring sheets. He has picked up, double digits here tonight. He has moved up 13 spots after coming from the last chance qualifier here tonight. So right now he is in the position to take the LFOD Motorsports biggest mover of the race, but we still have 13 laps to go. It'll be 12 laps as Alan Young just crosses the timing and scoring line, as he has checked out from David Greenslet. Nathan Wenzel still kind of hanging right there also. Ryan Battle is currently sitting in 4th. Vernon Woodard is 5th, and then they are jammed up. And like Al would say, jelly rolled tight back here.
Yeah, Milton Duran working the outside of the racetrack, and Randall Phillips has got to the back bumper. How patient is the 19 going to be? He's been able to roll. Oh, I got my answer there. There's 1 tap. Let's see if we get the Teddy 3-tap rule. As Duran up the racetrack once again, he's working the outside of Bouchard. Bouchard will clear him. Prescott, now the next car to the inside of the 35 of Duran. Is you got 2-car breakaway up at the front of this one. All eyes are on this battle. Eric Steele trying to crack the top 10. He'll work to the outside of the 22 of Drew Davis. As Duran up the racetrack in front of Davis, and around will go Davis, and up the racetrack, Yeti will get by. Yellow flag number 2 coming out with just under 10 laps to go.
Looks like Mike Taschereau may have turned the 33 car around also, as he's actually into the wall hard. Smoke bellowing out of the Racing School number 33 for Taschereau, so his night looks like it's going to wind up on the hooks, as Drew Davis went around with a little bit of a help. And, well, let's take the old turn 3 replay here and watch it back. There you see Duran sideways and then nowhere for the Vermont Cabinetry number 22, the crew chief, to go as he comes back out onto the track. And, oh, boy, Dolliver and Taschereau hard into the driver door there of that number 22.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where I'm sure the race director Quadros has preached it over and over again. Hold your brakes if you get in trouble. The 22 of Davis up the racetrack into oncoming traffic, and well, Castro, the unwilling bystander that's going to get the short end of that stick here tonight is the 33 of Castro. Smoke billowing, radiator knocked out of the front of that number 33, Roger, and it looks like he's going to be down on pit road, and that might end the night for the 33 of Castro, who's had a good last few weeks, been competitive up front, might have not got the results that they were looking for, but that car has found some speed over the last few weeks.
Yeah, that was back at Oxford and North Wilkesboro Speedway that he was able to pick up a couple top 10s and rally off a 5th place finish also. And man, we talk about drivers that come to iRacing that have real world racing experience. They're like, well, it's just a video game. It's just one of those things they call a sim. It can't be that hard. Well, yeah, he was one of the drivers that came to me and goes, well, this is actually harder than it seems, especially when you get into competition levels like you have here on a Sunday evening. So right now, Mike Taschereau being scored in 22nd and down on pit road with the smoke bellowing out of the hood of the Racing School number 33. It is going to be a long night for him, and I believe the rest of it's actually going to be down there on pit road, because I believe it's 7 laps to go when the pace car pulls down.
Yeah, pace car going to pull off the racing surface right now as they work it down here on the front stretch. Green flag back out. It'll be 8 laps to go. So a Saturday night shootout, well, Sunday night shootout here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Northeast Racers. Side by side down to the turn number 3 they go. Young down low, the 20 of Greenslet. He'll move up the racetrack after contact. Here comes Wenzel. Wenzel quietly inside the top 5 all night long. Now taking the top, your number 2 spot after contact. Might have had some help down in the turn number 3 from that 16 of Battle. It's good battles all the way around the racetrack. How about Eric Steele quietly started in deep in his field. Now runs 7th with 6 laps to go.
6 laps to go. It's Alan Young, then it's Nathan Wenzel, and then it's the side-by-side with Ryan Battle and David Greenslit down the back straightaway they go here. Battle on the inside of the number 16, that white and maroon entry to be 5 to go. High 5 this time by from the flagman, and it's going to be Battle picking up the position, but Greenslit tried to do the crossover move. Contact a little bit further back. The Swag TV number 32 of Eric Steele got a little contact there. I believe that was from the 44 of Justin Prescott. He went up the track. Now he's right back down there on the, we'll call it the bottom side of the speedway here, right on the door panel of that 44 of Prescott. 4 laps to go. Cooper Bouchard still to the outside of the 73 of Vernon Woodard.
They're still door-to-door here. Now Prescott takes a peek down low, thought about making it 3 wide. Meanwhile, up at the front of this one, Wenzel gets moved up the racetrack. Here comes Ryan Battle. Battle down to the inside. Wenzel going to try to slam the door shot. Couldn't quite do it. Up the racetrack goes the Sim Cube number 03 of Wenzel. Side by side for second. More contact in the turn number 3.
Yeah, I don't think Wenzel was happy with that move. Threw a little bit of a hip check at that number 16. They're coming across the stripe. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more laps to go here at South Boston Speedway. Alan Young is loving the battle that's happening back there. Ryan Battle and Wenzel throwing the book at each other. Every move they can think of. And now it's going to be Battle picking up second with David Greenslit. Wenzel falls to 4th as the white flag is in the air.
Final trip around the speedway. Next flag will end it. It is the number 24 Young. Final trip down the backstretch in the turn number 3. Can he hold on to pick up the win? He'll come off turn number 4. Checkered flag is up, and it will be Young picking up the win. Battle will come home second. Greenslit third. Wenzel slipped back to 4th. And how about Cooper Bouchard rounding out your top 5 in that 17 here tonight?
He finishes inside the top 5 with Vernon Woodard back in 6th. Prescott 7th. Steele in 8th. Hodgson in 9th. And Rodney Hontoon finishing there in the 10th position. Picking up the most spots gained here tonight is the Swag TV number 32 of Eric Steele, so congratulations to him for moving up 15 spots, coming from the last chance qualifier. As your winner, though, Alan Young, of course, celebrating here for his first victory of the season. We talked to him earlier in the year, Al. We asked him when he was going to pick up a win, and he said he hoped to soon. It's just been very strong competition here this season. Timing and scoring on the left-hand side of the screen, though, is, of course, unofficial here tonight, as you see your top 3 finishers waiting for their podium spot, or waiting for their interviews here for finishing on the podium. We're going to take a quick break here tonight from the South Boston Speedway race fans, and we'll be right back with your post-race show brought to us by LFOD Motorsports.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the South Boston Speedway. 75 laps for your A main event here tonight, presented by LFOD Motorsports, is officially completed. We have your, well, 2 out of your 3 podium finishers tonight to get post-race interviews with here tonight. So let's start it off with your winner down in Victory Lane. Let's get a word in with Alan Young. Alan, a great race by you in the LA Sim Sport Young Guns Creation number 24. Tell us about your evening here as you had to battle past some of the faster guys to get to the finishing line here tonight first.
My race was pretty uneventful. I just kind of rode around behind David and them guys in the top 3 for most of the race, and then tried to follow David through, and then him and Milton made contact, and I just saw the opening and took it, and I just did what I had to do to hold on. And I quite relieved.
Yeah, we talked to you earlier in the season, and we asked when you were going to be able to take the Young Guns Creation machine to victory lane, and you said hopefully soon, because usually by this point here on the sim, you've picked up a couple wins this season. This year, it took you to all the way to 4 races left, as now there's going to be 3 races left. What's the plan going forward here as you came in 4th in the championship hunt, about 80 points back of David Greenslit?
I think the rest of the plan for the rest of the season is just attack and go out and try to win the rest of the races.
Well, you're going to have a couple more of those to go. We head out west here now. We head to Las Vegas to do a little bit of gambling and racing at the Las Vegas Bull Ring before we head back down south to Southern National, before we come back home up to the north where we love, to the Thompson Speedway. 3 races left. Which one do you think you can at least dominate?
I would have to say the Bull Ring. I think the Bull Ring is probably one of my favorite tracks, and I seem to run really well there. Thompson, if I get out front, we'll see what happens. Southern National is not really my best track, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Bull Ring.
Well, before we let you go here, Alan, the red carpet is out. The microphone is yours. We know there's people on the side of this number 24 that you got to thank tonight.
First of all, FSM Customs for coming on board this year. Young Gun Creations, my brother Aiden, LA Sim Sport, them guys over there. They don't race with me on Sunday nights, but a couple other nights they do. My mom, my dad, and my 2 kids.
Well, there it is. You hear it from your winner here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. May not have had the fastest car all night long, but he was in the right place at the right time as Alan Young picks up his first win of the season. Coming home in second was the driver of the number 16. That was Ryan Battle, and boy, did he have a lot of battling to do here tonight. Had to battle with Wenzel and Greenslit, and I believe Dolliver was involved in the Ben and Jerry's machine, and boy, Ryan Battle showed us here tonight that he can work his way through the field. He is going to finish P number 2 here tonight. But standing by with Al down on the speedway, I believe it's your 3rd place finisher of David Greenslit.
Comes into tonight as your points leader, and he'll leave as the points leader. Has to be a relief to get out of South Boston with a podium position here, David. Talk us about your night. You have fast time, and then you have to start 5th in this feature event. Talk about these 75 laps here tonight.
Yeah, it was a good race. Made a little contact with Milton there when I was going for the lead, and not sure if it was net code or what happened there, but it was a decent race. And then I got underneath Alan for the lead after that, and caution came out, and Alan ran one hell of a race. Congrats to him. He's had a rough year this year, and he deserves to get up front and get a W.
Becoming the South Boston, probably one of the tracks you probably had on the schedule. That is kind of is the short track super speedway, the way that wrecks can happen here. So to come out with a 3rd place finish, were you a little bit nervous coming to South Boston here tonight, knowing that you only had 4 races left, including tonight's in this championship hunt?
Yeah, a little bit, but South Boston's actually one of my better tracks, so I knew that I could get up front and ride up front, and then it would be pretty decent up there, but if you get towards the back, then that's when stuff happens. But I mean, 75 laps, and we only had 2 cautions. It was a pretty good night.
Yeah, very good night. Very good display of the talent that's here at the Northeast Racers. Now looking ahead, we have the Bull Ring, Southern National, and Thompson ahead. 3 races left in the season. You have a comfortable points lead. Is you going to be able to bring this championship home over these next 3 weeks?
I hope so. I'm real good usually at the Bull Ring. Southern National is an okay track for me, and usually I'm horrific at Thompson, so it'll have to be a lot of practicing.
But at the end of here, we'll be pretty good at the end of this season. Next week at the Bull Ring will be a good one. We'll see you there. But before we let you go here at the South Boston Speedway, how did this all happen, or who makes it all happen for you in this 20 team?
LFOD Motorsports, Backwoods Trophy Outfitters, Vermont Custom Cabinetry, all the guys that come out and run in this league with us, and you guys for broadcasting it.
Well, there you have it, Roger. That is our 3rd place finisher here tonight. That is David Greenslit in that number 20. He'll come home 3rd, and he'll hold on to the points lead over Nathan Wenzel headed into the Bull Ring next week.
So a great night by your top 3 finishers here. Milton Duran, one of those drivers that did not finish onto the podium, but he still had himself a solid night. I know he would like to have won this one to really help him in the points championship hunt, but David Greenslit will finish 3rd on the podium and keep that top spot. Alan Young will actually jump Joel Hodgson. He will now take over P3. Wenzel will still hold the 2nd position in the points championship. That's how things are going to look leaving here at the South Boston Speedway as we head out west. Do a little gambling over the week before we head to the bull ring. And Al, we thought this one was short. The bull ring is even tighter.
Yeah, the bull ring's going to put on a great show. This like South Boston did not disappoint as we get ready to go with our 3 race series to the end of this one. I'm really looking forward to next week at the bull ring, but I'm really looking forward to Southern National. We'll be able to see the high banks in action where they run door to door, wheel to wheel, side by side throughout the entire event. And then we all end up in the home state of Connecticut at Thompson Motor Speedway. But Roger, it was a great race here tonight. Congratulations to Alan Young picking up tonight's win. We'll see them all in action in 1 week's time.
So for everybody at the LFOD Motorsports, the Northeast Racers, and of course, Al Smith, I'm Roger Muth here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We can't wait to see you next week at the Bull Ring.